Have a look on this graph. So this graph is a quadratic graph, smiley face, where the y-intercept is at -1. The equation gives you unknown, p and q inside. This non-linear equation, it can be reduced into the linear form where the graph moving down and passing through the y-intercept at 2. And the big Y and big X is given, which is y over x squared and 1 over x squared. Can you find the value of p and q for me?
Find the linear form first.
Okay, yes, find a linear form first because you can see the non-linear equation is given already, right? And you already know the big Y is y over x squared and the big X is 1 over x squared. What we can do is both sides we divided by
X squared.
x squared. We get y over x squared equals to p plus q bracket 1 over x squared. The x squared here is gone and the q here it become q over x squared. We break it become q bracket 1 over x squared. We get the linear form and we can see the gradient is q and your y-intercept is p. What is the p here?
2.
Yes, and we can see from the graph the y-intercept is 2. Our first answer, p is equals to 2. What about the q?
-1.
-1. Okay, how we know it's -1? Because we know that the q is the gradient. And to get the gradient here, we can just refer to the formula m is equals to negative y-intercept over x-intercept, which give you -1 and also give you q is equals to -1. Okay, let us look at the second graph, p over x plus q. I reduce into linear form where the graph is moving up with the big Y as xy, big X as x. Okay, tell me, what should I do?
Times x both sides.
So if times x both sides, I get xy equals to p plus qx. X times y, it becomes xy. P over x times x, it becomes p. The over x is gone. Q times x, it becomes qx. With this, we get a linear form. Can you see the big Y and the big X? Now, we can identify our gradient, which is Q, and our Y-intercept, which is P. What is P?
-2.
We can see our Y-intercept is -2. So that's why our P is -2. The Q?
1.
So our gradient here is negative Y-intercept over X-intercept. So it gives you the positive 1. That is our Q. Okay, let me show you the third one. Y equals to p to the power of -2x plus q. This one is the exponential function. I reduce the equation become linear form with the graph moving down with the big Y as log 2y and the big X as x. So what should I do?
Log 2 both sides.
Okay, now I log 2 both sides. I get log 2y equals to log 2 p to the power of -2x plus q. What next?
Bring down.
So bring down the power becomes -2x plus q in front. Yes. Bracket, don't forget to write. This bracket is important. So we have to multiply the log 2p with the -2x and the q. Log 2y equals to -2 bracket log 2p x plus q log 2p. With this, we get our gradient form. And you can see our big Y is log 2y and our big X is x. -2 log 2p is the gradient. Q log 2p is our y-intercept. What can we do to find the p first? Here,
Compare with the actual gradient.
compare with the gradient from the graph. Gradient only have one unknown. Y-intercept, you have q and p at the same time. So that's why it's better for us to start from the gradient. So we find the gradient first. Negative y-intercept over x-intercept. So that will give us gradient of -2. So we will compare the -2 log 2p with the gradient -2. Can you see the -2 and -2 can be cancelled off? Both sides we can
Yes.
divide it by -2. So I will get log 2p is equals to 1. What is p?
Move 2.
We have to move the base 2 to the other side, make it becomes the base of the index 1. So p is equals to 2 to the power of 1, which is 2. And the y-intercept is 1. So we write down q log 2p is 1. So q times 1 is equals to 1. Q is equals to 1. Actually, we got another method to solve this kind of problem. So let me show you. Instead of referring to the non-linear equation, you can refer to the graph directly to get the linear form. The big Y is given, the big X is given, and you can find the gradient, and you can see the y-intercept also. Linear form give you y equals to mx plus c. We know that the y-intercept is 2 and the gradient is -1. Big Y is y over x squared, gradient is -1, big X is 1 over x squared, and the y-intercept is 2. This is our linear form. Is it possible for us to change back the linear form into the non-linear equation? Non-linear equation, you can see the subject is y. So we do not want y over x squared. What should I do?
Times x squared.
Times x squared. Yes, multiply x squared both sides. So it becomes y equals to -1. The over x squared is gone. Plus 2x squared. So 2 becomes 2x squared after you multiply with x squared. Can you see this? Y? Can you see the x squared here? Can you see the x squared? What is p?
2.
P is the coefficient of x squared, 2. And the q is -1. Okay, let us look at the second one. Second one also the same. We can see the big Y, we can see the big X, which is X, Y, and X. So we know that the Y-intercept is -2 and the gradient is +1. Okay, how the linear form look like?
xy equals to x minus 2.
Yes, correct. Xy equals to x minus 2. We want to convert it back to non-linear equations. And you can see again, non-linear equation, the subject is y alone in front. What should we do here?
Divide x.
Divided by x. xy divided by x, it becomes y. X divided by x, it becomes 1. -2 divided by x, so it's y equals to 1 minus 2 over x. They have the same subject already. And you can see the over x is here. And now this one is also over x. We can compare and find out the p and q already. What is the p?
Minus 2.
Yes. Can you see the value above the x? Of course, you have to read together with the negative sign. P is -2 and our Q is 1.
Sir. Bukan negative 2 is the y-intercept.
-2 is a y-intercept, yes, but that is a y-intercept for linear form, not the non-linear equation, right? Alright, let us look at the last one. We can see the big Y is log 2y and the big X is small x. What is the y-intercept?
1
What is the gradient?
minus 2.
What is the linear equation here?
Log 2y equals to minus 2x plus 1.
Log 2y equals to -2x plus 1. Yes, so we get our linear form. We check back the non-linear equation. We want the y alone in front as the subject. So what should we do here?
Move the log 2 to the other side.
So if I move the base 2 to the other side, then the 2 will become the base for -2x plus 1. And we get y equals to 2 to the power of -2x plus 1. The y, and we can see the x here. What is p?
2.
What is q?
1.
1.